Hour number 2, good to have you with us. If you have something to say about Michigan State, we will happily take your call. We want to mix in some Tiger conversation. Here's where we were with Michigan State. It's very simple. Michigan's national championship good and State isn't. You get the game on your home floor. You can't play that way in the first half. And then you tie the game, and then you hurl yourselves down a flight of stairs. As far as the two coaches go, Balti has put a sock in it. I don't want to hear Dusty doing this all-shucks victim routine again. Well, no, there were a lot of dangerous plays in the game. Dusty, stop it. And for Tom, you can't cry about officiating when your team can't throw it in the ocean. Just stop. There doesn't always have to be more. The game was what it was. Michigan is better, like unequivocally better. And they have the best player on the floor.
Yeah, because if you keep going like this, when you play again in March, you're going to end up seeing basically the bottom of the benches in the game because everybody's going to foul out. If you're going to keep jockeying, the refs are going to call every little ticky-tack thing.
Correct. And guess what? Sure, are there a couple of weird things both ways? Yeah, welcome to a rivalry game. Like, can we stop, please?
Yes. Yeah.
So, again, nothing overly provocative. Yes, did we have the portal conversation about State? Yeah, it's more relevant is, once again, they are light on shooting and light on NBA talent. And you're not going to win a national championship without NBA talent. Or now in the portal era, a couple of 23, 24-year-old hitters.
I was about to say, not necessarily NBA talent. How can you say this nicely? Almost NBA reject talent. Not good enough for the NBA.
I like NBA light.
NBA light, G League talent. How about that?
Basically, if you can have a couple guys on your team near 24 years old, you got a real good shot. They got that old man strength.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at with the game. And Michigan, no, they're the real McCoy. Because they didn't escape. they blew the lead and went, okay, enough of this crap, and then dusted State late.
Yeah. Yaxel showed he was the best player, both teams. He went out there. Him and Fears went back and forth, but Fears, you saw, I have to carry this team. Yaxel was just like leading his team.
You've said it all. So if you want to rap about that, we're here for it. We know we got a few people who want to talk about it on the lines. We will do that. I want to mix in Tiger talk. Let me throw the number first. 248-539-9797. So why are the Tigers in the news again? Well, one of it is a piece of reporting, not from the boogeyman at 97.1. Right. No, this is like national reporting. So if the Tigers have a problem, they can call Ken Rosenthal and hate on his bow tie or whatever you like. But Ken Rosenthal talked about Framber Valdez and the upcoming Scooble thing. And you go, oh, God, not this again. Just listen to this audio because it's going to play into something that actually happened this weekend that while I'm not upset, I do understand Tiger fans' discontent. Here's Rosenthal on a potential arm and the Scooble and what it all means. Okay, so a couple things I want to focus on there before we get to the news of the week, Enrico. One is it should happen regardless because that's what a serious team would do. Yeah. While I have defended this team that you can't ask them to spend like drunken sailors. They do not have the Blue Jays financial wherewithal.
Right.
$13 million to an ownership group with the money this team has, that's not even a rounding error. It's a stick of gum. Yeah. So I don't want to hear about that. This Scooble arbitration thing has been a thing all offseason now where it's like, well, if they lose that arbitration, we can't go get another player. And that's coming from national reporting.
Yeah.
So this weekend, when Eugenio Suarez signed a 1-year deal for $15 million to go to the Reds, a lot of people, I just, people in my life, and then obviously, like you listen to the station, when Doug Karsh chumps the Tigers, my response to that was like, Doug has been body snatched. But look, I don't love Suarez. I've said this I said it at the deadline. I said it all season. Rico, would I take him? Of course I would. 49 homers, 118 RBIs, and 830 OPS. Yes, he struck out 200 times.
Right, but would your team get better?
Yes. And look, the folly in all of this is like, okay, Fangraphs. Forget about 97-1. Fangraphs has you at 83 wins. In the worst division in baseball.
Well,
So
then you know what? You may not want to read the Athletic article because they have you as second place.
Okay. Well, look, and again, I don't think these things are mutually exclusive. Yes, Max Anderson or Lee or whomever at third base. I can understand what they're trying to do, but having a 1-year commitment to Suarez and still being able to find at bats for other players is possible. It is doable. Suarez would be the right-handed power that, again, you wouldn't be able to put him next to Riley because you'd have 400 strikeouts next to each other. But yes, it would help. Mm-hmm. Why the Tigers aren't involved on a 1-year deal for 15 when you basically lit 15 mil on fire last year signing the Golden Girls? Okay, but this is my point. For people who, oh my God, I'm not being unfair. I'm being reasonable. Here's the reasonable deduction you could make from these reports. If the delta between your offer to Scooble at 19 and his ask at 32, 13 million, if that delta determines whether you could sign someone else, you've self-imposed a salary cap.
Yep.
And it's not about, well, I want them to sign Kyle Tucker, and that's going to be $60 a year. $13 million is a rounding error.
Correct. Mike, it looks like, seems like, feels like to me, this is all set up this year. Scooble's going to be the bad guy. And I guess you need the bad guy.
No, that's us.
Well, it's going to be him.
Oh, my bad.
Because if you sign him, well, we didn't have enough money to sign anybody else. If you win the arbitration and you only have to pay him 19, you can go out there and try to salvage some pieces. But if you don't, you'll say, well, we had to keep this money in-house just in case we lost. So either way, it's not our fault that this team looks the way that they look this year. It was all because of this Scooble stuff that happens. And you're right. Like, guys, this $13 million, this should not make or break your team. This is one of those things. If this is making or breaking your team, there's a lot more going on here than you're letting on. Like, that's one person.
And understand this before you call in. I think I've been infinitely fair. Do not put me in a position to defend that ownership group. But when people call up and they're bitching and moaning, this team isn't carrying a $270 million payroll, I've put my foot down on it and said, you can't do that. You're not living in reality. Now, I have cited, look, they don't have a TV deal. They don't have Dodger Vision. They don't have Yes. They don't have SNY. But we're not talking about that. I'm with you in this regard. First of all, I love your point about the Scooble thing. I think that's interesting. I dig it.
I mean, it's just for those who want to dig a little deeper and think about that, it's set up that they're going to win this regardless. Well, we couldn't afford him or
right. The 13 million is not 50. Okay. So I just pardon me. Here's the other thing. Look, I understand you have a business to run, but first of all, unless baseball teams are truly going to open their books, which will never happen, I have a hard time believing teams are losing money. But second of all, these teams are real estate plays. These teams are long-term plays. Like when Carl Pohlad bought the Twins for $6 million and then he sells them for $800 million. That was the win. Not what he was making off of effing almonds. Okay? So while I appreciate the year-to-year need to not lose your ass, the $13 million in the last year of Scooble, that is just, to me, that I'll never be able to understand that. And while I will defend their inability to spend the way of the big 4 or 5, I can't defend that. So if you're mad about Suarez, guys, I totally understand it. But in fairness, I'm the person, I don't love Suarez. I would take him.
Right, and that's just it. He would upgrade your team. Could he become that bat that you're looking for? Yes. Position of need? Yes. 1-year deal? Is he going to block the kids? No.
Not on a 1-year deal. Because things happen. Injuries happen. Regression happens. And even if Suarez ends up regressing, you are not paying him an amount of money that I have to keep him in the lineup.
Right.
So on that end, look, guys, you tell me what you feel. Because, again, arbitration day is Wednesday. But this report, that audio, Suarez on a 1-year deal, where are you at with your baseball team? Because, Look, it's just very hard to look around the room and go, bravo, great offseason. I'm sorry. At best, it's a C+. At best. You know, you want to shine the Kenley Jansen thing, say he could repeat his age 37 season. Oh, okay. You know, your pitching addition was a guy who hasn't pitched in the majors since 2021. Mm-hmm. What are we hoping for there? Yeah. Merrill Kelly? Is that what I'm hoping for?
38-year-old pitcher, yeah.
You didn't go out and sign a bat, and we're sitting here going, this is it for Skubal, right? And if the $13 million was going to preclude you from doing business, why didn't you trade him? Or better yet, instead of now here we go again. I don't want to do this. It was never about Boris not negotiating. You knew the terms of engagement going into the arbitration. He was going to ask for something crazy. You didn't have to take the league's recommendation on a deal that was offered 11 years ago. You could have come in at 25 and probably won the thing.
Got a feeling in the end you're going to look a lot like the Angels with Shohei. So,
what? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Well, they're better than that.
No, but I'm just saying, in the end, he walked.
Look, luckily for you, you play in the worst division in baseball, okay? We need to start having people say the quiet part out loud. Oh, wow, we're predicted to win. Yeah, the poor kids division, where the team that tried the hardest this offseason was the White Sox. Think about that.
Wow.
And they might win 60 games.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me. I'm not going to have somebody call up today and be pissed about Suarez, and I'm not going to make them the bad guy. I'm not going to sit here going crazy about Suarez, but I understand if people are angry. I do. I mean, Rico, we needed a right-handed bat. What did they do?
$15 million. And you pay $15 million for a pitcher who never pitched for you.
Look out.